Hi guys, my name is Shay Jones. I teach at Dalton High School in Dalton, Georgia. I teach 9th grade American Government and 11th grade U.S. History. Today I'm going to show you a technology lesson that I created. It's designed for the 11th grade U.S. History course. The timeline for this lesson is 3 weeks. And the GSE U.S. History standard that it focuses on is 19, and that standard is about U.S. involvement in World War II. So it's going to look at the two theaters of World War II, so the Pacific and the European, and how the locations and events and battles of World War II, how those influence the war itself and U.S. involvement. The literacy standards for this, students are going to create and write text. They're going to base it off of historical events. They're going to organize and make it coherent writing for a specific audience. It's going to be their peers because they're going to present. The goal is to really use technology to strengthen their writing. So they'll have to plan, they'll have to revise, they're going to receive feedback. And the technology standards, the three that this lesson focuses on, is using technology for productivity. So students are going to use the tools that we're going to look at to increase creativity, to be creative in what they design and what they create, and to really enhance the learning of the content. The second technology standard that they're going to look at is communication. So they're going to create a product, they're going to present it to their peers, they're going to collaborate and work together all around creating this technology artifact or creating the technology product. They're also going to use technology to research, so they're going to evaluate and collect information when designing their product. So the overview of this lesson is that the students, the 11th graders, are going to create an in-depth presentation on a key battle or event of World War II. So they're going to use Web 2.0 tools, and they're going to build on their prior knowledge, so what we've already discussed about where the United States is at the start of World War II and how the United States eventually becomes involved in the war and their impact. And so they're going to use their notes. There's a World War II brochure that we'll do before this lesson, before we start this project that's really going to help them. And they're also going to be given online resources as well to conduct their research. So the big question with this lesson is, how does the location or event, one key event, influence the entire war itself? And so that's really going to be the question that students are going to focus on. And so the three tools that they're going to use to answer that question is, they'll have a choice. They could use Google Tour Builder. I just recently found Google Tour Builder, and it's awesome. So I would introduce that to them, and then they would have a choice to either use it or Metaverse. And so if they use Metaverse, which is an augmented reality tool, they would create an artifact related to that key event or battle for their presentation. They're also going to use Canva. So Canva, they're going to create, I'll show you. They're going to use Canva to create a graphic for their project, for their presentation. And then, so I'll show them, we've used Canva before. I think that's a really good idea if you're going to teach this lesson, that you use some of these technology tools beforehand to kind of get them acclimated to it, get them used to using these technologies before a big project like this. But I would show them the one that this is a tour that I created for D-Day. And so their main focus is location, and how does location impact the event. They would also, if they would have their choice to either use the Google Tour Builder or Metaverse, and if they choose to use Metaverse, then they would create an artifact and present it to the class. And so for their presentation, they would still have to create a graphic. So students, they would be given tutorials, they would be given rubrics, checklists to kind of help guide them throughout the lesson. One thing that I really suggest if you're going to teach this lesson is to provide multiple types of technologies, and that way students, they have a choice in using something that they're comfortable with. If you do a project beforehand where you've used different technologies, maybe in a smaller scale for a lesson, I think that's a really good idea to help introduce them and get them comfortable with the technologies before you have a big project like this. My students, we've already used Canva, so they're pretty comfortable with that. Google Tour Builder and Metaverse, it would take them a little bit of time, so you kind of have to build that into the lesson, giving them time to get used to the project and to the tool. Students, I provided them with a checklist, and so they kind of know to help keep them on track, because it's 3 weeks, and so this kind of helps keep them on track for the things that they need to accomplish in that time span. The final day, they will present their tour or their Metaverse project and present. They'll have a rubric, and so they'll be given the rubric when we first introduce the project to kind of help them know what to expect. Once everyone's presented, we're going to compile all their presentations into a class weekly. Looking back, if we had had more time, I would have really liked to have had students present different perspectives on the lesson or on the battle or event. I think that would have been really interesting for them to see different perspectives of one single event. I would have also liked to them maybe have done both. So if we had more time, they could have created a Metaverse and a tour builder. I think that would have been really interesting to kind of see them implement both. This is my lesson, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope that you'll consider teaching it to your U.S. history students.